Everything is just so expensive these days, but your makeup does not have to be. Let's do a full face of makeup that is actually affordable, because let's face it, just because you can get it at the drugstore does not make it affordable. Hi everybody, my name is Youre and welcome to my channel. I love all things beauty, but on a budget. So if that sounds like a bit of you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, and let's become baddies on a budget. Starting off with my youre Pro Base Grip Fix, an ultra grippy primer with a brightening vitamin C and niacinamide. I think this might be my 4th or 5th tube of this stuff, because it's literally £5.50 and just as good as more expensive ones. I also do like a green one that I really like, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I like this one more just because it's pink. So I just like to take a little bit and really focus that under my eyes. Now we're going to leave that to get good and sticky. You always want to leave time between your primer and your foundation. To do that, I'm going to take the Primark 3-in-1 brow pencil. With this, you get a powder, a spoolie, which I'm using now, to just like go through the bulk of my brow and just make it a bit thicker and a bit darker. And then you also get a pencil, and it's literally £3, so you're only paying £1 per product. I just don't think you can go wrong with that. Next, I like to take the pencil side and run it through the front of my brows to create more hair-like realistic hair strokes. Now onto foundation, and I'm using the Maybelline Lumi Matte. This is in the shade 250. I always like to paint my foundation on with like a flat foundation brush first. And I'm not going to lie to you, I do find that this oxidizes, so I mix it with a little bit of the youre Lumi base. This is in the shade Cosmic. Do a good old mixy mix until we look something like this. I like to use my beauty sponge to blend it in, just because I much prefer the finish of a sponge. I think it looks so much more natural. This is a Clomana marshmallow sponge, which I'm not going to lie to you, they're expensive for a makeup sponge, but they're really good. And this is also the breast cancer one. The proceeds of the sales went to different breast cancer charities, and breast cancer is something that is really close to my heart. My grandma has survived breast cancer 3 times thanks to charities like the ones that these support. So if we're getting a good product and it's for a good cause, I feel like it was okay that I spent a little bit more. Time for cream bronzer. Using the youre cream bronzer. This is in the shade Espresso. Honestly, it smells bloody incredible and it just blends so easily. Like, look, done. I'm just going to put that on my cheeks, and I find it really easy to build on as well. Now for cream blush, I'm going in with the Studio London Flaunt Flawless in shade Empower. She's Well Loved. I'm going to put this kind of under my eyes as well and use that as sort of a colour corrector instead of going in with a separate colour corrector. The first time I used this stuff, I absolutely hated it because I thought like the pigment was just not there. But it turns out I was just not using the right brush. You need a really dense brush because this isn't like a melty cream product. But to pick up the product, you need a really dense brush. Concealer, it may look like I'm using a pot of face cream, but it's concealer. It's the Troublemaker 2-in-1 foundation and concealer, which is called the Juno. And I did originally buy this as a foundation, but as you can see, it's not my shade. The swatches on the website were wildly misleading, but luckily I really like it as a concealer, and I'm not mad because as it's actually a 2-in-1 foundation concealer and I bought it as a foundation, you get a foundation amount, but for a concealer, I think it was about £5, but £5 for 30 millilitres of concealer is wildly cheap. Oh, and you're probably wondering why it's in a face cream pot. I hate the packaging. I hate the packaging so much that I literally cut it apart, scooped all of the product out and put it in this pot. Because it's not flat anywhere, you can't store it. It's just so hard to get the product out, and it was driving me absolutely insane. Like, it's a good product, the packaging is just terrible. Oh, and this sponge is from With Love Cosmetics. You can get like 2 or 4, the price is wildly affordable, and these are so soft. And they've got a really sharp point, so it's perfect for getting right into that corner. Now we have reached setting spray, and this one is actually from Avon, and I think this is like £5 at the time of recording for 120ml of product. I just rubbed some product off my nose because I blow my nose about a bajillion times a day, and no makeup and no setting spray is going to help that last, so I don't really like to have product on my nose, otherwise it goes patchy and looks weird. Blending that out so it doesn't look crazy. Powders. This is the Studio London Flawless Loose Powder in the shade Honey. Remove any creases first. And last time I checked, this was literally like less than £5.50. I always like to use a powder puff to do my loose powders, and this one is from Trigwell. And I'm taking any excess on my forehead and on my chin. And then I'm going to take this little pointy brush, this is from She Only, push the product in. We don't want to swipe it because one, what's the point of putting the makeup on if we're just going to take it off? Two, if you swipe, you're more likely to disturb the product underneath, and we don't want to do that. More anyway, and we're going in with their pressed powder. So I'm using this as a bronzer because to my knowledge, anyway, do not make an actual bronzer that's dark enough for me. But their pressed powder, this is just like a full coverage pressed powder foundation kind of thing. Like probably more of a finishing powder, but their shade range in that is really good. So I found a shade that works for me as a bronzer in their pressed powders, but not a bronzer in their bronzers, if that makes sense. Put a bit on my cheek. And then if you want to fake it till you make it, we're going to add some to our jaw and just down the side of our neck to make it look like that jaw is like... Next, my favourite part. Blush, and not just any blush, a glowy blush, because if it's not glowy, I don't want it. This is the Beauty Crop Luminous Powder Blush in the shade Stunning, and she's just that. I'm just going to put that all on the side of my face, everywhere I put the cream blush basically, but not under my eye because I did that with powder. What are we seeing? The first time I tried these as well, I did not like them, but I tried a different shade and I used way too much, and that shade just didn't suit me, so it was more of a user error than the product, because the product is beautiful. And I know that you can get these in Boots and they're like £8 or something, but you can also get all 5 shades on TikTok Shop for £10. And you cannot tell me that that is not affordable. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face with the Maybelline Superstay Powder Foundation. It comes with one of those little powder puffy things, but as you can see, it just picks up the moisture of my face and is rubbish, so I'm going to use a brush. And we're going to push that into our face. Again, we don't swipe, we push. Pretty much everywhere else on your face, really. But right now we're looking pretty matte, and I'm a dewy skin kind of girl. Then I'm going to take again the Avon setting spray and mist that all over my face, just to like mesh those powders together and make it look more seamless and smooth on the face. And I don't know about you, but I don't like to sit and waste time, so while that's drying I like to go in with my mascara, and this is the MUA Loaded Lash XL, but of course waterproof. These are curl first. You get how you put on mascara, you don't need to watch me do it, I'll be right back. I'm going to go a bit rogue and add another setting spray. This is the Brushworks Dewy Setting Spray, and it just helps give my skin that beautiful dewy look that I absolutely love. But I think she's discontinued. While that dries, let's do my lip combo. This is the lip pencil in Zip It from Troublemaker. It just says Theo Aura Balm. Also from Troublemaker. Super glossy. And just to finish off, we're going to take the MUA Pressed Powder. This is translucent, and it's literally £2.25. Just taking it on like a little fluffy brush, just tapping it right under my eye, just to give that really brightening, blurred, open eye awake effect. I'm going to dip back into our powder blush in the same colour. Just take it on a really teeny tiny brush, right into that inner corner, to add one more hint of sparkle. So because it's the same colour as our blush, it's giving a really nice seamless smooth effect. And now, final step, because we want this makeup to last all day, the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. Hold your breath, it stinks. I really like to focus mine like here and here because I have a son and he's a bit of a face grabber. So I do put a lot of extra on the bottom half of my face. And here we have it, the result of our full face of makeup that's actually affordable. Let me know, how much do you think this full face of makeup would cost you if you went out to the shop and bought it right now from scratch? If you like this kind of video, please leave a comment, a like and subscribe, and let's go on a journey to becoming baddies on a budget. Bye!